Okay friends, one of the first things we have to do to get started on our fuel door return spring is to locate it. If you open up your fuel door, it's going to be located right behind this area right here. The easiest way to access this is to remove the bolts that hold this to the body of the truck. We want to be able to move the filler neck around, so then we can remove these bolts and remove the unit. Now the first couple bolts that we're going to remove would be this one right here and this one right there. This one right here for me is stripped, so I'm not going to worry about it, but I'll remove this one. At this point, I can move this around. Now we'll continue on to removing those two mounting bolts. All right, now I can wiggle this, remove this from the truck, and then we can get ready to remove the spring. Now let's get our fuel door on a bench. The next thing we want to do is start removing the spring from the fuel door itself. If you were to look up along this area here, you can see two little tabs. Those come through from the spring through the fuel door. To relieve that, I'm just going to carefully come in between here with a flathead screwdriver, pry it gently, and try to separate the pieces. Do the same on both sides. Now with those two tabs out of there like that, we're going to continue on to pushing this part down. Okay. Okay friends, now it's time to install our brand new fuel door return spring. Let's slide this in here. There we are. Now the first area that we want to do is this area right here with the two prongs. I'm just going to bring it up, slide the two prongs into their mating area. You can see them both through there. Now we're going to turn this over and rest it just like this. Now to get this last part in, we're going to use our screwdriver. I'm just going to come underneath this edge right here, underneath the spring, and then I'll use some leverage and pry it down and under. There we are. You can tell I have it completely sitting inside its area right there. And if I turn it over, I have my two prongs in there. Let's just test this real quick. I've got plenty of spring tension, and the spring did not come out of where it's supposed to be mounted. Now we can get back over to the truck. Now back over at the truck, we're going to start off with this in the open position. So I want to have my hinge just like this. Next I'm going to take it and I'm going to put the bottom ear down underneath this area, and then roll the top ear up and around as well. Once you have it into the proper area, line up both of your bolt holes and then snug them up. Okay, so now before I go ahead and completely snug these up, I just wanted to close it. And essentially we just want to look at it and see if we can get it lined up with where it needs to be. Might look a little up, a little down, or in any other direction. Just line it up with about where it needs to be. Carefully open it up and then tighten up the bolts exactly where they are. Now after you tighten up your bolts completely, just double check to ensure that it's still lined up. Once you know it looks great, let's continue on to tightening up our filler neck to the body of the truck. Now for the mounting bolts for this, you should have the one up here. Ours is broken, so it still looks like it's in there. Aside from that, you're going to have another one right there. So let's go ahead and put in them both. Make sure that's nice and tight. Give it a nice wiggle just to ensure that your filler neck is not loose from the body of the truck. Assuming it looks good, go ahead and close the door, and then down the road you go.